Well, you may know him from the hit TV show Criminal Minds, or maybe from film, or you know what? Maybe you've even seen him on Broadway. All could be a possibility because he does it all, and he does it all well. Joe Mantegna joins me now to talk about his role as director. Thank you so much for being here in the show. I Am Not a Comedian. I'm Lenny Bruce.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
So tell me a little bit about the play and why you decided to take on this role.
Well, Ronnie Marmo, who wrote the piece and stars in it, came to me, and he was an old friend. I'd worked with his theater company in Los Angeles years ago. It's called the 68 Cent Theater Crew, and he also has the same group here in New York. Came to me with this piece. He's been obsessed with Lenny Bruce for a long, long time, and wrote this piece and said, if you would, Joe, I'd really love you to direct this if you have the time. Now, I was fairly immersed doing this series Criminal Minds, which I had been doing for the last 12 years. But I said, look, let me read it, and if it's something I can relate to, and you can wait till my hiatus time when I can direct it, we'll do it. And I looked at the piece, I had him perform bits of it. I thought it needed, was what he was looking for, some structure, turn it more into a play than what it was, and a performance piece. And I said, you know what, I think it's terrific, let's do it. So that next hiatus, which was over a year ago now, I did it. And we had an incredibly successful run in Los Angeles, and now we're here in New York, and he's done over 200 performances. We've got just 2 weekends left, this weekend and next weekend, but then we're planning a national tour of it. So it's been great experience, and
so
happy for him.
Oh, sure. And for people that may not be familiar with Lenny, he was an understated comedian during his time, but now in retrospect, even Comedy Central, I think they put him on the list as like #3 of best comics of all time.
Oh yeah, and not just because he was so funnier than everybody else. I mean, he was a groundbreaker. I mean, Lenny, that's the reason why it makes such a compelling story. I mean, he was arrested numerous times.
He pushed the envelope.
He pushed the envelope way, especially for its time.
He nailed that envelope.
Yeah, he nailed that envelope. He blew that envelope up. And so you think of comedians like Richard Pryor or Dick Gregory, or there's a whole slew of them that just came comics that came after, George Carlin, who would never have been able to do their acts hadn't been for somebody like Lenny Bruce to kind of pave the way, because we take for granted some of the stuff that gets done now, but where he was pushing the envelope of actually the freedom of speech.
Sure. He was arrested because he used some,
oh, yeah.
words that we hear now down the street.
Yeah, and it wasn't just that it was blue material. It was just that it was poignant material. It was stuff. I mean, he dealt with racial issues. He dealt with political issues. He dealt with all kinds of things that were kind of taboo back in like the late 50s, early 60s. And it's like, no, you don't do that you can't do that in a public place, But so if you see the play, that 90-minute play, you get it all. In other words, you'll understand it. It's not just his routines. It's his life story.
And does it go through, he died early, it was an untimely death, he had no...
He died an untimely death. In fact, in the play, we tell it in kind of reverse order. I start with his death, and then we tell the story, and then we wind up with it again. So it's almost like we do the whole circle of life for him. And, he died naked on a toilet with a,
syringe, right?
Shot up with dope, which is, right in itself is kind of a shocking image, and the play itself kind of takes you there, and but it's insight into what was really a brilliant mind, and the material is very apropos for today, because in a way we're kind of going backwards in some way in terms of our being open-minded and being able to accept things that can be controversial, but yet need to be kind of said and need to be out there. So I mean, the Second Amendment, or the First Amendment rather, is being challenged quite a bit these days. And I think that this show is a way of kind of shining a light on it.
For you, you've done so much. I don't have to tell you. You lived it. You were there, and you've won awards, and you're really everywhere that you can look. You've tried it, and now directing as well. What for you is your favorite? Could you pick one? No,
I can't. I mean, look, an actor, that's been my day job for 50 years. So I would have to say that's, I would think that's what I have gravitated to and probably do best. But I've enjoyed directing. I do voiceover. I've been the voice of Fat Tony on The Simpsons for 30 years. I've done books on tape. So I mean, I've dabbled in a lot of aspects of the business and been blessed to have had that opportunity. And directing, I directed 9 episodes of Criminal Minds out of the 325 that we ultimately wound up doing. So it's been, I feel very lucky in that respect. Like I've been able to kind of try it all, done a lot of theater, won a Tony Award back in '84, was in a Pulitzer Prize winning play. So you put all that together, it makes for, a career that I
should be very proud of.
I am proud of it.
Good, you should be.
And happy about it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll accept that as my life's work. And if that, ends tomorrow, I'm happy with it.
We were just chatting, let's hope it doesn't. Thank you very much. But we were chatting about how busy you have been and what you are going to continue to do. And you're traveling here, there, into Chicago and LA. Are you going to take a second to take a break?
Yeah, I do. I mean, one of the luxuries of this business, I was able to kind of put enough together to get that. I have a sign in it. In fact, I have a beach house in California. There's a sign that says, life is short, buy the beach house. And I had the art department on Criminal Minds scratch out the buy and put bought. So it says life is short, and it says bought the beach house.
I like it.
So whenever I get there with my wife and kids and we look out at my kids are adults now, but still we all go there and look out.
That's nice.
And I'm staring at the Pacific Ocean. I can be able to say, okay, now's the time to we can chill out a little bit. Life's pretty good.
Good for you. And so for people that would like to see this, you don't have much time. It closes June 8th.
Yeah, it closes June 8th. I'd say go to lennybruceonstage.com. You'll get all the information. It's playing at The Box, which is on Christie Street down the Lower East Side.
Okay.
We'll have performances Friday and Saturday this weekend, Friday and Saturday next weekend. And then look for it. If you look at the website, it'll tell you the future of where it's going, and it may be coming back. We may even continue it here in New York,
depending on
at odd places and times and whatever. But yeah, if people have an interest, should try to see it.
Thank you so much for being here. And
Thank you.
just to reiterate everything, it closes June 8th, and to get tickets, you can go to lennybruceonstage.com.